The famine of the word is coming. Um, First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Shai, Bashim Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth, and salutations to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel scattered abroad. This your brother Yawab Banashar coming back with a hopefully edifying video. And this video is going to be titled, The Famine of the Word is Coming, and Persecution. All right, and this is fair use. All right, I'm not using this to make any money, just for educational purposes. So I'm gonna play this video, and I'm gonna stop it when it's something they said.
Amount of power at this moment in time. Why should we trust you?
You should. I have a kid that was born in 2025. I don't think he'll ever be smarter than AI. I don't think that'll get in the way of his happiness or fulfillment at all. It's sort of strange, and also sort of to him like it's the only world he'll ever know.
Well, I love the idea of getting a drone and having light fentanyl-laced urine spraying on analysts who tried to screw us. So that's my lower purpose. But the higher purpose for me was to get this nation to be the preeminent power in the world.
You would prefer the human race to endure, right? You're hesitating.
Yeah, well,
Yes?
I don't know. I would.
This is a long hesitation. This is a long hesitation.
So the primary source of death in Palestine is the fact that Hamas has realized that there are millions and millions of useful idiots.
I know it's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it, and quickly before it's too late.
What do you mean?
I mean that we need to control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need to stack rank the authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online, and take control over what they are saying based on that ranking.
The government.
The government should
control social media.
they should do that.
You heard that? He said, take control over with freedom of speech, what we talking about. So that goes into the prophecies. All right. This is Amos chapter 8, verse 11. It says, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst of water, but a hearing the word of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east, and they shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and shall not find it. In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. Right, man? Because this white man is about to imprison the whole planet. All right, and everybody finna be in a goddamn, which we already are in a prison, you know, but they finna put everybody in a damn box. All right, and people are gonna want to know. People are gonna want to hear from the men of the Lord. You know, they're gonna want to get a Bible explanation, right? And that's when the Lord is gonna shut us up. All right, we ain't gonna be talking no more. You know, gonna be like, yo, what's going on? We're gonna be like, man, you know, go find out for yourself, you know. And also, this devil is gonna come and attack us. All right. what's that? Standard. It's gonna get so hard that people gonna want answers, and the Lord gonna shut us up, man. He gonna say, all right, stop talking, yo. All right. Slack you. This is Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 19. It says, so shall they fear the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall lift up a standard against him. So the Lord gonna defend us, man. All right, because once the Lord shuts us up, once the Lord stops talking, he gon' start judging these people. All right, he gonna start getting these people. All right, and Esau is gonna come for the remnant of Israel. All right, he gonna come for the men, the believers. But the Lord is going to intervene. All right. Matthew chapter 10 and 16, it says, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be therefore wise as serpents, harmless as doves. Yeah, we ain't out here, plotting to do no violence. We just preaching the Bible, right? It says, but beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, right? And we're going to have the whole world against us. We're going to be delivered. We're going to be delivered up by parents, siblings, people that know us. They're going to be like, yeah, he teach that hatred and all that. They're going to hate us like with a crazy hatred, man. Meanwhile, it's the white man making everybody fucking life hard, man. It says, and they will scourge you in the synagogues, it says, and they shall be brought before governors and kings. We're going to be locked up. Some of us going to be locked up and brought before courtrooms, right? It says, for my name's sake, it says, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles, right? And everybody, we're going to speak the truth, right? But when they deliver you up, take no thought what you shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what you shall speak. All we're going to do is speak the truth, man. We don't got to write it down. It says, for it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. So some of us, our children, gonna come against us. Some of us, our parents, gonna come against us. Our brothers, sisters, so forth and so on. It says, you shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved, right? So you don't turn your back on the Lord, you're going to get a name in the book of life, man. It says, but when they persecute you in this city, flee ye unto another. So we're going to be on the run, yo. All right. It says, for verily I say unto you, ye shall have not gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come. The disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord. It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master, and the servant as his Lord. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, how much more they of his own household? Yeah, so they call us evil. It says, for them fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. Right? So, it's going to be made manifest that, these people, they don't know the Lord. All right? They're going to all take the mark of the beast. It says, what I tell you in the dark, that speak ye in the light, and what ye hear in the ear, preached upon the housetops. Fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. And that's not talking about an everlasting lake, hell, in the middle of the earth. That's talking about the Lord got control over how you die, man, or what happens to you. So it says, these people, they could do whatever they want to us. The Lord could do, that's not going to be compared to what the Lord going to do to them. It says, are not 2 sparrows sold for a farthing, and one of them shall not fall to the ground without your Father. So the Lord is, if you step on an ant, the Lord is the one that chose for that ant to die at that actual time, man. The Lord is nothing the Lord out of the Lord's control, it says. But the very hairs of your head are numbered. Fear ye not, therefore you are more valuable. You have more value than many sparrows. Whosoever therefore confess me before men, him will I confess before my Father in heaven. But whoso shall deny me before men, will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. So when this time comes, right, when this word is stopped preaching, right, let me get a scripture. When they persecute us and all of that, right, it says, 2nd Ezra 16 and 18, it says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. We're in the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, man. All you see on social media, all you see is people complaining about this or that, inflation, gas prices, job losses. This, we're in the beginning of some sorrows, man. Some mourning, People crying, man. It says the beginning of famine and death and great death. We're in the beginning of seeing a whole lot of death. Famine, man. We're in the beginning of motherfuckers starving. It says the beginning of wars. You look on the news, you see the wars, man. It says we're in the beginning of wars getting worse. It says, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, bad times. what shall I do when these evils shall come? It says, behold, famine, plague, tribulation, anguish are sent for scourges, for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness. Nor, these people, they totally disconnected from Yahweh Shem outside, man. It says, nor be always mindful of the scourges. It says, behold, victuals shall be so cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, right? You can buy, you can buy some food for cheap. So people are like, they don't see no emergencies, It says, and even then shall evils grow, but things are going to get worse, right? It says, sword, famine, and great confusion. These people are going to be confused when they find themselves, when they see shit getting crazy out here, man. But, when they finally look up and say, what the fuck going on, It says, for many of them, the scripture says a thief, they're going to get caught slipping like a thief. Like it's going to creep up on them like somebody, you just walking and then somebody come out of nowhere with a gun or something, a mugger or something, a thief, and they just caught off guard, It says, for many of them that dwell in the earth shall perish of famine. These people going to die, man. It says, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, and the dead shall be cast out as dung. Like, everywhere you go, you see dog shit, bird shit, duck shit. It's gonna be bodies like that, man. It says, and there shall be no man to comfort them. Ain't gonna be no funerals or burying of these bodies. Nope, they just gonna stink out in the streets, man, in the earth. People gonna walk right past them because they trying to get somewhere to go hide, or they trying to survive, or whatever. They just gonna keep it moving, man. Them bodies just gonna lay there. It says, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. Right, man. These people don't know that shut down shopping centers are coming. People starving is coming. You're gonna have to worry about people with guns. People looking for something to eat. Cannibalism is coming. Motherfuckers gonna be so hungry they gonna start eating people, man. But because a motherfucker could get up, go to McDonald's and get something to eat, they don't think this shit is coming, man. Why? Because they don't believe in this Bible, yo. And when these things start to happen, man, people gonna be out here looking for, trying to hear a word. They're gonna be out here trying to, see who got the information. And the Lord just gonna zip our lips up, man. They're gonna be like, yeah, I remember you used to talk about something. And we're gonna be like, nah, man, I don't know. Hey, yeah, go, can't help you, man. Right? Because the Lord that's gonna be the time where the Lord gonna open up on these people, man. And some of us, we're gonna be moving around just like these people, but we're gonna be under the protection of the Lord. And some of us gonna be martyred. Some of us are gonna be killed by these people. Some of us are gonna be in prison. And the Lord gonna lift up a standard, Lord. Some of us are gonna get broke out of prison by angels. Some of us are gonna get spiritual power. It's gonna be a lot, man. Until then, we gotta deal with the bullshit. All right. But you hear what they saying, man. This prophecy.
And quickly before
Let
it's
me
too
play
late.
it again. Fair use, fair use. Salakia.
I know it's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it. And quickly before it's too late.
What do you mean?
I mean that we need to control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need to stack rank the authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online and take control over what they are saying based on that ranking.
The government.
The government should
control social media.
yeah, should do that.
We were going to use.
Yeah, so they going for the control the media. They going for the control what we talking about. So that means the famine of the word is coming, and that the destruction is coming, right? Because it says in Revelations 7. Let me get that real quick. Revelation 7 and 1, it says, "And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding back the 4 winds of the earth, and the angels are the ones who the Lord send to earthquake a community, or a volcano a community, or it's the angels that the Lord sent angels, death angels, to send a tornado to fuck a bunch of people up, or to make a plane fall out the sky with 200 people in it, or make a person go 100 miles per hour into a goddamn wall. Or it's the angels. It's the angels the Lord sending hitmen. You can call them the Lord's hitmen. Angels are the ones out here. When you turn the news on, you see this person dying from that, or this person. It's the Lord sending angels to do all of this. So you got the angels, right, holding back the 4 winds of the earth, which is the destruction, right? It says that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on the tree, any tree. The nuclear missiles, man. All right. And I saw another angel ascend from the east, having the seal of the living power in their foreheads, the elect, the mark of exemption from these destructions are going to be upon the believers. It says, with a loud voice, to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. So right now it's a sealing of the believers. After that, the Lord gonna tell them 4 hitmen, them 4 angels, go to work, man. It says, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Right, so once this happens, right, once the sealing is through, because right now the destruction is being held back, right? Until what? Until we finish preaching the word and finish reaching the believers. Once that's complete, right?
Millions and millions.
The Lord gonna let these people have it, man. He gonna open up on these people.
Useful idiots.
I know it's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in all.
Look, they talking about it. They talking about eliminating freedom of speech. Yeah, because they pretty much getting tired of this word. It was cool for us to rap about popping pills and committing adultery, killing our brothers, and that was all cool. But now that this gospel has been shaking the world up, they like, no, we need to do something about freedom of speech and all of this, you know.
To protect it.
But that's prophecy. There's gonna be a time where the gospel is gonna be closed up to everybody, and the Lord gonna open up on everybody, man. And people are gonna want to hear the gospel then, right?
Quickly before it's too late.
What do you mean?
I mean that we need to control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need to stack rank the authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online, and take control over what they are saying based on that ranking.
The government
should
control social media.
Yeah, they should do that.
We were